Hi everyone, it's Jack from Jack's English, and today we are doing English through stories again. This time we're going to be building your use of past tense. Today's English through stories is focused on narrative tenses. Now, what are narrative tenses? These are tenses we use to tell stories. So examples are past simple, past continuous, past perfect. All of these grammar tenses are going to be used in today's story, and then I will explain how to use them and how you can use them in your stories. So let's start with the story first, and then we'll get into analysing the grammar. I always walk home after work along the same busy street. Yesterday, I was walking home when I suddenly saw a car crash. A sports car was pulling out of a side street when it was hit by a truck. I was stunned, but I quickly took out my phone and dialed the emergency services. They were on their way immediately, and they arrived within 5 minutes. While the ambulance crew were dealing with the injured, the police were closing off the road and clearing it up. By the time the injured were taken to hospital, the police had already cleaned up the road. I walked over and spoke to one of the policemen. He said the road was notorious for car crashes, so he was used to cleaning up this part of the road. Personally, I hope that the city council deal with this road as soon as possible before anyone else gets injured. So that's my story, only a short one today, and now I want to break down or analyse the narrative tenses that I used. The first example I want to talk about is the following sentence. I was walking home when I suddenly saw a car accident. This is a great example of the past continuous. Using the past continuous here shows that seeing the car accident was unexpected. With this use of past continuous, we show that we have our normal life action, in this case I was walking home, and then something interrupts us. The thing that interrupts us is unexpected. This is a great way to start a story where you're talking about an accident. I used this structure once more in the story. A sports car was pulling out of a side street when it was hit by a truck. Again, the sports car was doing something on purpose. It was pulling out of the side street, but the unexpected action, hit by a truck, interrupted its action. Another typical example could be, I was having a picnic in the park when it started raining. As I said, this is a very useful grammar tense. Using past continuous for unexpected events are a great way to start stories about accidents. Another example I want to talk about is the following sentence. While the ambulance crew were dealing with the injured, the police were closing the road and cleaning up. In this sentence, you can see 3 uses of the past continuous. Why is this? We can stack up past continuous several times in a sentence to show that actions were happening at exactly the same time. It's called simultaneous actions. Again, this is another powerful structure you can use in your stories. While I was cooking dinner, my wife was preparing the table ready to eat. Next, I want to talk about the following sentence. By the time the injured were taken to hospital, the police had already cleaned up the road. This is the past perfect. A lot of my students are a bit confused by the past perfect, but the simple way to think is the past of the past. By using past perfect, we show that one action finished before a past action or time. In this case, I've said that the injured were taken to hospital. Before that, the police finished their action, which was cleaning up the road. So the past perfect shows that one action was finished by the time another one happened. I'll give you another example. When I got home last night, my dog had already fallen asleep. This shows that when I arrived, the action of falling asleep, my dog's action, was already finished. So when I came into the house, he was already sleeping. The final narrative tense I want to deal with is just the past simple, but there's an interesting use in my story. Look at the following sentence. They were used to clearing up that part of the road. They were used to clearing. Used to verbing means it is something they are accustomed to. This is just the past simple in my story, but it's a very useful structure to say that you are accustomed to doing something. I can also use it in the present tense. For example, I'm used to living in a noisy city because I live in Seoul. This means I'm accustomed to living in a noisy city. That's because I live here in Seoul and it is a noisy city. Okay, great. That's everything I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this look at the narrative tenses. Don't forget, if you have any questions or if you want to try your own examples, show me below and I'll take a look and give you some feedback. This is a very important lesson for those doing IELTS. Narrative tenses are so important to get right. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, give me that like. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.